Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Black Manga Critic. Um, One Piece time, y'all. All right. Now here's the deal. I'm gonna be reacting to One Piece chapter 904. This is very obvious, but I've been spoiled about quite a few things. I think from now on, from Friday to Monday, I'm just gonna be off Twitter, because like the amount of like the number of spoilers that were just out there, the number of tweets, and the thing is like right, like I can block certain tweets, right, because generally sometimes I have One Piece in the title, certain things like that. But a lot of the times people do not put anything in their titles, and they'll post a screenshot of the most important part of the manga on a Friday, and I'm just like, like for me, I already understand like those people and their mentalities, right? They're like, hey, I read it, a bunch of other people read it on Fridays, so whatever, right? And that's what that is, right? That's a whatever thing. That's like a disregard for people who do not read spoilers, who want to be on Twitter for other reasons, right? Twitter does not solely exist for people who enjoy One Piece. That's not how it works. Okay, so the thing for me is like I have to make sure that I'm just off of Twitter on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's just what I have to do if I want to avoid spoilers for One Piece in particular. My Hero, not so much, but and other like Weekly Shonen Jump manga, not so much. But One Piece in particular is like it's just really bad. It's really bad. All right, so I gotta stay off of Twitter from Friday to Monday. I do. That's just how it is. All right, so if you want to message me for whatever, maybe there's like an app where I can get messages from Twitter without having to be on Twitter, then that'd be fine. I think I can do that. But like generally, I just gotta like stay out of chats. I gotta do those particular things. I just have to. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm gonna do from now on. With that being said, let's get into the chapter, y'all. Okay? Because I want to read this chapter, even though I know certain things that are happening. I know, but it is a full chapter. I want to see what else is in this chapter, things that I might not yet know about, stuff like that. All right. If I don't react in a certain way, it's just because I already know certain things are going to happen. So I'm not gonna like be like, no, because I already know those things are coming. All right. So it kind of ruins, a bit of the hype and stuff like that. But I think, I just want to live react because this is what I do. I live react. I do this stuff, and yeah, that's it. So let's get into the chapter, y'all. All right, chapter 904 of One Piece. Okay, let's do it. And the title, I'm not surprised because I already know. Introducing the Revolutionary Army captains. So I'm not hyped because whatever. All right, so the saga of a self-proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet, Volume 34. Orlumbus retiring from being the pioneer adventurer of the Standing Kingdom. Okay. And I'm sure that's sort of important, but not really. It should be, but, whatever. Let's see. I'm gonna look into it. Yo, what's going on? What's going on, Nakamura? What's going on, Ratchet? What's good? And Big Daddy Vin Smoke. What is up? What is up? I'm just avoiding Twitter. I can't do it. I just gotta avoid it. I just gotta avoid Twitter. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I can do. All right. Kambaka Queendom, Peachy Island. The revolutionaries, having lost their longtime base of Baltigo, moved their upcoming council meeting to this island. Your bloodline's most impressive. That Straw Boy's a real man. Not to mention Sanji Boy, a prince of Germa 66. And not a word of it to me. What a cad. This incident got Germa booted out of the world government. Yeah. Our officers are certainly taking their time. They shouldn't be that far away by now. Sabo, what have you been doing over there? The chief of staff spent so long grinning at Luffy's article that he cramped his cheeks. What a goof. Oh, of course. Lindbergh speaking. What's going on? We're all waiting. Sabo, there's trouble nearby. Do you mind waiting a bit longer? Fine, as long as you're safe. Oh, it's so thrilling. All the officers of the Revolutionary Army gathering right here. Yeah, this is Newcomer Island, which is dope. I can't wait to see Morley. I'm all about Betty. I really love like see this is what I'm talking about. Like it I'm gonna say a few things. Like I'll get into it in another video that I'm gonna do with my friend Ash and my other friend Gabby on Saturday. Talk this dynamic and what kind of Oda does here with the newcomers and everything, and I'll talk about it later. But some stuff just doesn't sit right with me. It bugs me. I'll get to it. I suppose we could firm up our plans first, Sabo. At this reverie, it's finally time to declare war, right? Against the celestial dragons. Yo, doom. Let's go. I already knew that was coming too because massive spoiler on a tweet or a few tweets. So I already knew that was coming, but it's still dope. Okay. And I think we've already kind of understood that this is like the long term or the end game for not the end game, but like very close to the end game for the revolutionaries, right? If you're going to be a revolutionary army, you have to overthrow, right? You have to like overthrow the entire system, right? The entire governing system, right? The system in power, right? And the celestial dragons are like, right? So you got to take them out. You got to. Port Town, Luluchia Kingdom, Grand Line. Okay. So we're on a Grand Line. That's interesting. Kind of went back. Help! Somebody help! Steal all the valuables. Where is the Navy? Peachbeard Pirates. Captain Peachbeard. Bounty. 52 million berries. Oh, this guy's a scrub. This dude's a scrub, yo. Okay, so let's see what happens. P ha ha ha. This Navy ship's just lip service. The king's gone for the reverie, and he took all his best soldiers with him. I work for the operation of Blackbeard. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Emperor of the Sea, and I've taken on the name of Peachbeard. So corny. Sorry. Yo, this dude is corny. This dude is so corny. Remember my name, Fear Blackbeard. Please stop. This is a poor town. We have nothing. Kill any who resist. That's why this stuff's always corny to me. So corny. Please spare us. The only thing we have is our heavenly tribute that gets paid to His Majesty and the celestial dragons. We are barely clinging to life by our fingertips as it is. If we don't pay our heavenly tribute, we'll be put to death. My word, what a devious king. Now, you mentioned there being some money. Let me reread that again. Let's see. Please spare us. The only thing we have is our heavenly tribute that gets paid to His Majesty and the celestial dragons. Like, yo, this king is terrible. Obviously, terrible. Right? He's like, I'm gonna get some money to the people over me, but I'm gonna make sure I get some money for me, and I'm gonna leave them with trash, with like nada. All right. Now you mentioned there being some money. Find it. Oh, did he just smack her? Yo, get out of here, man. What? Go. Oh, okay. Go, Morley. What are you doing? I already know what's happening there. Is there something under the ground? Punch, boom, Okay, that's like a massive trident. What's that? A giant trident? And a hup. Yo, this come out of the ground? What is going on? And ha. Ew, what are you looking at? A giant just popped out of the ground. I mean, he's clearly like a giant with a devil fruit ability. One dressed rather peculiarly. Why are you staring at me like that? Are you just completely obsessed with me? And now he's making false accusations. What he's saying doesn't match his deep voice. Shoot him dead. Boom. Okay, so trying to win into the ground. Okay, so he seems like he has like an ability. It's kind of like Pika's ability, kind of like Pika's mixed with like Inazuma, I guess is that his name? Or I can't remember the dude the dude from the Revolutionaries. Ew, leave me alone, boys. Whoa. Do giants live in the earth? I've never seen one. Who is he anyway? A Navy sailor? The ground's like soft clay. What's going on? Stand strong. He's got some kind of powers. So, what is it you want to do? You passive, unresisting trash. Huh? Trash? What do we want to do? Who are you? What are you people doing here? We are. There are two more up there, Captain. Now, just a moment, Morley. I've got my newly invented weapons to use. And you don't have to go and beat them all before I get a shot. Captain Peachbeard, I know them. Those 4 people are supposed to be scattered all over the world. Captain of the Revolutionaries, Army Western Forces, Morley. They're still staring. Pipe down, scum. They're the Revolutionary Army's military captains. Captain of the Revolutionary Army Eastern Forces, Bello Betty. Pipe down, scum. Let me use my new weapons. Captain of the Revolutionary Army Southern Forces, Lindbergh. Captain of the Revolutionary Army Northern Forces, Karasu. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this person, Karasu. Either he has a devil fruit, or he's another species of bird person. But interesting designs, you know, nothing super special, but they're all right. I'm not complaining. Revolutionaries. Why are 4 of the Revolutionary Army's officers in this one town? You boys and your violence. They do it because they like you, you giant rube. Ew, yuck, barf. Morley, I like Morley. He's probably my favorite so far. Can I go already, Betty? Nobody's answering the question. And what's that guy mumbling about? What? He just snapped for some reason. What's the call, you trash mongers? Will you die or will you fight? Choose your fate. Is being the hero someone else's job? It could be yours. The townsfolk picked up the sticks. You make me laugh. Are you actually going to fight us? Lin, Karasu, provide backup. You got it. How strange. I suddenly feel pumped up and full of strength. Drive out those stinking pirates. I bet you do. That's the power of Betty's pump fruit. A single wave of her banner calls forth the strength within you. Betty's the flag bearer of freedom. Ah, I like that. That's That's like a very cool revolutionary ability. Like this dope. Like at least like it's dope for their position, right? For their status, for what they do. And they are military forces, and it's a very it's like such an apt ability for a military leader to have. It's such an apt ability. They never found out the hard way that getting shot hurts. Eat this. Cool shooter. Yo, that's gold. My gun just froze solid. That's dope. Get out of our town, you miscreant pirates. Ha. Yo. Oh, and then the birds. Caw, caw. Ah, give those back. The crows stole our swords. Yeah, I kind of knew that dude was probably going to be the one that was flying Sabo. I figured. But it's good to see the confirmation. Okay, boom. That's dope. Peachbeard, bounty of 50 million. Master Blackbeard will extend his wrath upon you. Sorry, but he doesn't care about the people working for him. Listen up, you yellow-bellied, lily-livered, sad sack clowns. That 50 million Betty bounty is yours. Huh? This is how you can contact the Revolutionary Army. You did good today. Call us anytime. Wherever the weak stand up for themselves, we'll be close behind to help. Thank you, Miss Bello Betty. Hey, why are we even supposed to be meeting up anyway? We're going to pick a fight with the Celestial Dragons. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Oh, and turn on your amplifier, Karasu. I forgot. Only 2 days until the reverie, and the schemes of players around the world begin to intertwine. That chapter One Piece, chapter 1904 end. I mean, it was okay. I'm be honest, it was alright. You know, it's alright. You know, you know. What's going on, Tony? What's going on? I was like, that's all I'm saying about that. You know, it's a very. I'm just look. It's gonna take a lot to impress me, and I like in one sense I understand that like their abilities are useful, especially I think Betty's ability is a dope ability for their army and for what they want to do. But I'm like, mm, it was what I'm not even gonna rank the chapter because I don't know I feel like that just doesn't do much for people. But I guess like we were talking about ranking the chapter. If I had to give it a number, I'll give it a 6.5. I give it a 6.5. I mean, it's alright. It was alright, but it wasn't like wow. Like, and why I say this is because this is stuff that if you're just using context clues and you're just thinking in a certain way, then it's like yes, of course, the Revolutionary Army would want to take down the Celestial Dragons. Yeah, right. It's like yeah, we like yes, right. Who else are they going after? You know what I mean? Like for the end of the game, right? They gotta go after them. So that makes sense. Like that's not surprising. But did I say, oh, we're gonna declare it at the Reverie? I'm like, that's also not surprising because a lot of us have talked about the fact that Dragon might show up at the Reverie. We talked about this. This isn't something that's like particularly difficult to predict, right? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Right? I'm not saying like, oh, someone predicted that. That's a trash prediction. I'm just saying like it's not like someone predicted that like Sanji would be from a family of assassins and da 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 da, right? Like if you predicted everything about the setup of Germa 66 before we even heard about the Germa or the fact that Sanji had a family of assassins or anything like that, props to you. You know what I mean? That's like you had to do some extra work for that. You had to do some extra work for that. It was like, it was alright. It was alright. Like it was an alright chapter. But like a lot of the stuff in the chapter, I think I think what I liked about it was, I think the best part about this chapter was, Betty's ability. That to me was the best part of this chapter. Everything and Pinkbeard just getting like fodderized, right? Like that was dope too. I like that. You know what I mean? So that was dope. I like the fact that Oda sort of said, okay, these are revolutionaries. Their powers should be useful for revolution, right? Even Carl's ability is distinctly revolutionary and revolutionary and progressive in such a like distinct way and in such an important way. And I think that's why character like people that read One Piece in particular from like the LGBTQ LIA community love Ivankov. Like Ivankov is one of my favorite characters. I love his character. His ability is dope. And it speaks volumes about a lot of things. But like I'll talk about some things a bit later. But it was like it's basic, right? It's like no overpowered abilities. I don't mind that. I think that's fine. But just because I think it's fine doesn't mean I'm going to say, oh, well, it's supposed to just be, certain abilities that match the like revolutionary work. So, I have to give it a higher rating. Like, I'm not like, no, I'm just like, it's basic. So I'm gonna give it a basic rating. Like it's basic, right? Like this is a very basic chapter. There wasn't much I was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like it was like, okay, I read through that super fast. This one then doesn't have to see like, okay, this depth root ability. Here's a depth root ability where he's like affecting the ground and moving and stuff like that. You know, and that's useful for revolutionary work, for infiltration and, you know, certain things like that. I think that's fine. And the bird's ability to be able to, you know, the ability to be able to move and travel and do all these things with the birds, like that's dope. I think that's fine. But yeah, you know, it's like I'm not concerned about like, you know, this character has to be overpowered and like that. But I also don't have to give like, you know, a crazy high rating for this chapter, you know, because the abilities match their revolutionary work. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like that makes sense. And you know what I mean? It's like, this is like stuff, right? You already got Sabo, you already got Dragon, you already got Evencove, you already got Koala. You've got all these like Hawk. You already have these characters that are very strong, right? So I was like, okay, you know, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. And again, it's just, you know, it's a basic chapter. That's like, I don't really have much more to say about it. I think some people, you know, they'll go super deep and be like, oh, well, you know, the revolutionaries on Evenkov's island, so that means something must be like, they just on his island. They chilling because that's his island, right? That's Evenkov's island. That's why they're there, right? Like if you're reading, like if it was me, I wouldn't read too much into that, you know. But a lot of people might, and I'm like, I don't. You know, but yeah, Sabo was cool. Like Sabo being happy about it, like the fact like his cheeks started like getting like sore because like he was smiling so much. I love that. That's dope. I like that too. You know, but you know, it's like whatever chapter. Last week's chapter was dope. I love that chapter. You know, because like I wasn't expecting some of that stuff. Like I wasn't expecting to see some of that stuff. So like right after the arc had ended. Not that particular stuff, right? Like it was cool. This chapter was like, you know, I think if I hadn't known about the title would have been hype. But you know, like it still would have been like, okay. I would have been hyped about it, but then I would have been like, you know. So it was a whatever chapter. I feel like the chapter was like a 6.5. And again, this is like part of it. And if it's enjoyment of the chapter, probably like right in the middle is like a 5. But if I'm going about like, you know, certain things that I thought were interesting that happened that I thought were pretty cool, I would say yeah, like the abilities I think being very like much so like in line with revolutionary work that's good. I think I like that. I like the fact that Oda went there, and the fact that Oda is very insistent on showcasing that revolutionary work doesn't dictate that like you only worry about, you know, these terrible people with like super high bounties and are doing all like incredibly horrible things, but you worry about everyone that is being marginalized and oppressed and everything like that, right? Like that's why I think I like that, because like the bounty, I think he was a scrub, but the revolutionaries don't care that he's a scrub. They care that he is a problem for this particular place, right? For this particular kingdom or whatever. So that's why I like that. I think that's very important. That to me is very important, right? So that's why stuff like that kind of bumps it up from like, you know, in terms of me just giving it a 5 for a chapter to like a 6.5, because it's like those things are important, and I think that's fine, and I think it's good to introduce those kind of ideas and those lines of thought, right? Because when you're doing activist, revolutionary stuff like work like that, you're not being like, oh well, I gotta make $2 million for myself, and you know I gotta make sure that I only handle the most important cases. It's like, no, like you do that work for the entire community, right? If you're doing activist work for the Black community, you're doing that for you're doing that for pretty much all for all Black folks. Like that's your work, you know. Unless like, you know, you have Black folks that are distinctly trying to like oppose the work that you're doing, right? So for me, I think that like this chapter was dope for that. But that's why I give it a 6.5. Outside of that stuff, like there wasn't anything that was particularly interesting. That declaration of war against celestial dragons, I'm like, yo, we've been knew that. We've been talking about that, right? And that's why I feel like in some ways, predicting things in One Piece to me, is sort of like, if there are things that are very easily predictable, it's like like to me that's not a good thing. Like if it's way too predictable, then when it comes to pass, when that sort of thing sort of shows up, then I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to try a little harder, Oda. Like One Piece ain't really, One Piece is a mystery, but it's not like sometimes it's not a very good mystery. You know what I mean? Or sometimes it's not very good at like, oh, here's foreshadowing, and then we get this thing like, and it's like too much. Like right, like when we found out that Lola's mom was Big Mom, like we knew that. We already knew that. We already figured that out. So we were just waiting for that to happen, right? That's why, like, for me, like when you saw people that were like, "Yo, I predicted that Lola was Big Mom years ago," and I'm like, "Yeah, so did everybody else, right?" It's like everyone else, like a bunch of people were like, "Yo, Dragon's probably gonna beat the Reverie. Saba's probably gonna beat the Reverie. The Revolutionary Army is probably gonna be the Reverie, or at least the core groups are gonna be there, right?" So we already talked about that. This isn't something that's like hard. It's whatever. So that's kind of how I feel about that. And I'm going to end it here because I don't want this to be too long. And I'm going to be talking about this stuff, on Saturday. On Saturday with like, a few of my friends. But yeah, that's how I feel about the chapter. 6.5 is all right. It wasn't like, but there's some things that I liked. Okay. That's why it's 6.5 and not just like a straight 5. All right. It's just like there's a lot of hints. Like we already know they're gonna happen. We know it, right? And sometimes I don't mind it. Sometimes I think it's cool. Like if they're like little hints that are sort of strung together throughout the story, I think that's dope. In a very interesting way. But if it's just like this massive hint and that stuff is gonna be coming later, it's not particularly like, wow. You know what I mean? Like when that happens, it's just like, oh yeah, we've been knew that. We've been knew that. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna get to the Promised Neverland in a little bit. First, I gotta throw some laundry. I gotta wash my jeans. When you are teaching children, and you do after school work and you do all this other work and stuff like that, and you're moving around all the time, you have to wash your jeans at the very least once. At the very least once a week. If you're not doing it at least once a week, nah, that's dirty. Sorry. All right. That's just a little tidbit. But I got to go do that. And then when I come back, I'm going to start the Neverland stream. Okay. And I think that's, and I think what I'm also going to do is maybe I'll be able to react to some other chapters. Maybe I'll I'll stick to those two because I don't want to push it too much. All right. I don't want to push it. I'm going to do something tomorrow. Professor Hitomi, you're on Hunter x Hunter episode 85. That Hunter x Hunter greatness, y'all. That Hunter greatness. All right. I'm hyped. All right. I'm the Black Manga Critic, y'all. Thank you for this, for watching this live reaction / initial thoughts of One Piece chapter 904. All right. I am the Black Manga Critic once again. I'm out.